Good morning, fellow gamers, and thank you for joining me on a special Project Unfinished Gaming breaking news. So, literally 1 hour ago, Xbox has acquired ZeniMax, the owners of Bethesda Studios. This is the biggest gaming news in a long time, guys. This is an acquisition of just immense magnitude. It is ridiculous. $7.5 billion for Bethesda Studios, and this is great. I think this is going to be the ramping up of, I hate saying this, the console wars. This just lineup of games that Xbox is going to be acquiring, from Dishonored, the Wolfenstein series, Prey, The Evil Within, Doom, Fallout, upcoming game like Starfield, and I think the crowning jewel, Elder Scrolls series. That means that when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, that will be an Xbox exclusive. This is nuts. Who would have ever thought that this is going to happen, especially with Bethesda? There was rumblings that Warner Brothers was going to be selling their game division. It looked like Xbox was going to purchase it. Well, forget that. They just acquired, I think, one of the biggest and hottest companies right now, which is Bethesda. It is nuts. I want to read a message from Pete Hines, the PR marketing manager of Bethesda. Today we are announcing we're joining the Microsoft family. And if you haven't had a choice to read what Phil Spencer and Todd Howard shared in their post this morning, be sure to check them both out. When we work at a place as long as I've worked at Bethesda, just a month short of 21 years, you see some things, chief amongst them in charge. When I started, Bethesda was not much more than a handful of people. The team working on Morrowind fit in a couple of offices, and there were probably 6 or 7 of us spread across everything else. Bethesda Software, our parent company, ZeniMax Media, and our many internal studios now employ thousands of talented people working in publishing offices and developing studios around the world. We've gone from internal studios to many, from a focus of a single-player fantasy RPG to developing a massive MMO, first-person shooter, and everything in between. The world, our industry, and our company has changed a lot in the 34 years since Bethesda Softworks was first founded. Today it changes again, and I know that brings up questions. But the key point is we were still Bethesda. We're still working on the same games we were yesterday, made by the same studios we worked with for years, and those games will be published by us. So why the change? Because it allows us to make even better games going forward. Microsoft is an incredible partner and offers access to resources that will make us better publishers and developers. We believe that means better games for you to play. Simply put, we believe that change is an important part of getting it better. We believe in pushing ourselves to be better, to innovate, to grow. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I mean, just reading that little section from Pete Hines. If you don't know who Pete Hines is, if you ever watched the Bethesda E3 press conference, he's the guy that's in charge of putting all of that together. Just getting his input. They need to grow and they need to change. I think this is a great resource. I think with what Microsoft has been ramping up with their studios, they're building an ecosystem for everybody to join, and that is something that not even PlayStation can offer that. Just this vast majority of catalog games that are coming to Xbox is something special. I mean, it's undescribable. I want to read what Phil Spencer wrote for Xbox. So, today is a special day as we welcome some of the most accomplished studios in the game industry to Xbox. We are thrilled to announce Microsoft has entered into an agreement to acquire ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks. As one of the largest, most critical acclaimed, privately held game developers and publishers in the world, Bethesda is an incredible, talented group of 2,300 people worldwide who make up some of the most accomplishing creative studios in our industry across Bethesda Software, Bethesda Game Studios, ID Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane Machine Games, Tango Gamework, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse Studios. These are teams responsible for franchises like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, Quake, Starfield, and many more. Bethesda's games have always had a special place on Xbox in the hearts of millions of gamers around the world. Our team have a close and storied history working together from the amazing first Doom and its ID Tech engine and innovating games on PC to Bethesda bringing their first console game to the original Xbox, the groundbreaking The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Over the years, I've had many deep conversations within the creative leaders of Bethesda on the future of gaming, and we are long shared similar visions for the opportunity for creators and their games to reach more players in more ways. Just as they took the first bold step bringing Elder Scrolls franchise to the original Xbox, Bethesda, where earlier supporters of the Xbox Game Pass bringing their games to new audiences across devices and have their activity invested in new gaming technology like cloud streaming of games. We will be adding Bethesda's iconic franchise Xbox Game Pass for console and PC. One of the things that has me most excited for is seeing the roadmap with Bethesda's future games, some announced and many unannounced to Xbox consoles and PC, including Starfield, the highly anticipated new space epic currently in development by Bethesda Game Studios. Let's just leave it off there. Bethesda games are coming to Xbox Game Pass. That is something that I would expect. But to think that we're going to be getting all these games in the next few months. We already have Fallout 76. We already have Wolfenstein on the PC. What other games are we going to be getting? Are we going to get... Oh yeah, we have Prey. We have a lot of... We do actually have a lot of Bethesda games on Xbox Game Pass. To think about it, I had to realize that we have Dishonored. We have Wolfenstein. We have Fallout 76. We have Prey. We could definitely be getting Doom Eternal maybe soon rather than later on Xbox Game Pass. But reading this is definitely reading this from Phil Spencer is really interesting, and hearing this from both Pete Hines and hearing this from Phil Spencer is really, really fascinating. I just can't believe that this is actually happening. So I'm getting this from Bloomberg. This is from Jason Schreier and from Dynabass. So Microsoft is launching a new generation of Xbox consoles in November at the same time Sony Corp's PlayStation 5. The games lined up for the new Xbox have so far disappointed some players, especially after Microsoft delayed its biggest title, Halo Infinite, until next year. The software maker has been adding new game creators and content, including acquiring 6 studios in 2018 and 1 last year. It spent $2.5 billion to purchase the maker of Minecraft in 2014. Microsoft is learning on its game subscription service Game Pass to draw in users and boost revenue, and needs compelling content to attract customers to their product. Microsoft said Game Pass now has 15 million subscribers, up from 10 million it announced in April. Bethesda Games has always had a special place on Xbox in the heart of millions and gamers around the world, said Xbox chief Phil Spencer in a blog post. Our team have a close and storied history of working together. Recently, however, Bethesda has been working more tightly with Sony. Bethesda has previously agreed to debut 2 upcoming games, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, on Sony's new PlayStation rather than Xbox. Both games were announced as timed console exclusives, meaning that they would be restricted to the PlayStation 5 for a fixed period of time before coming to Xbox. It remains to be seen how this acquisition will affect the deal. Microsoft expects the deal to close in the second half of the fiscal year 2021, which ends June 30th, and to have a minimal impact on its adjusted operation income for the current and next fiscal years. So, reading that, I know people might be wondering, so with Bloomberg and Jason Schreier basically saying that Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are still technically PlayStation 5 exclusives, yes. No matter what, we're not gonna see this deal for a couple of years. So let me break it down. So Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo were both shown at PlayStation's June event for the PlayStation 5, and both being announced as PlayStation exclusive, timed exclusive. So that meaning that Xbox and PC won't see that for maybe 6 months to a year. Anything past what has been announced, like Jason Schreier wrote, will be an Xbox exclusive if Xbox so chooses for that to be an exclusive. So those two games will be probably Bethesda's last two games for the next gen console, for PlayStation 5. And that makes it interesting because now this is an opportunity for Xbox to be in the position that they are now the front runners of people that want to now buy their console. And to think about it, literally, their console goes for pre-order tomorrow. And what better way to have this press conference, this PR for this acquisition before the pre-orders tomorrow? That is nuts. This definitely gives gamers some insight into the choice of if they want to join the Xbox ecosystem. But this is actually really, really interesting. This is a holy shit moment. I have nothing but positive things to say. I think this is both good for Xbox and for Bethesda, going into this next gen console war, which I hate so much. But this is definitely a big win for Xbox game fans and for PC gamers too, because no matter what, Xbox does put their games on the PC, so that will not change. But for those PlayStation fans, yes, it sucks, but PlayStation has its own exclusives. But to think, at the end of the day, Elder Scrolls 6 will be a Xbox exclusive is nuts. Who would have ever thought that? It's like saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, it's definitely an interesting, it's very fascinating what we've learned today. So tell me, what are your thoughts on this acquisition for Bethesda Studios? Are you happy? Are you worried about any upcoming games? Please leave it in the comment. But as always, thank you for watching this video. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and as always, thank you for watching this video. And guys, have a nice day. Peace.